close your eyes, take a breath, and listen not just with your ears, but with the center of your being. I'm not here to teach you how to become a millionaire. I'm here to remind you that you already are. There is only one power working in your life right now, your awareness of being. Whatever you consent to be true, that becomes your world. So when you say, I am a millionaire, and you mean it, feel it, and dwell in it as if it's already done, you have planted the seed, and that seed cannot fail. You don't need to see it first to believe it. You must believe it first, and then you'll see it. You are not here to wish. Wishing keeps you separate. Hoping keeps it distant, but assuming brings it into the now. So assume the mood, embody the feeling. Walk through your home today as though it were a mansion. Speak to others as though your bank account already overflows. Not to convince them, but because that is your truth. The world responds not to your words, but to your self-concept. You are always manifesting from who you believe yourself to be. So if you still think of yourself as someone trying to get rich, you keep trying. But the moment you say, I am already wealthy, and wealth rushes to me daily, you've changed the channel of your life. And this is not mere affirmation. This is a creative act. You are the author of your fortune, not its beggar. You said, but I don't see the money. That is irrelevant. The money must follow the state, not the other way around. Just as the world reflects your face in a mirror, it must reflect your inner acceptance. There is no outer change without inner movement. So I ask you, right now, will you dare to claim what is already yours? Will you walk as the millionaire you already are? Will you move, speak, and act from the end, not toward it? Because if you do, then I say to you, boldly and without doubt, you will be a millionaire in 1 month, because time bends to belief. Reality bends to assumption. And your fortune is waiting for you to simply say, there is only one cause, one source, and one power at work in your life, your consciousness. The world you see, the people you meet, the circumstances you call luck or fate, all of them are projections of your inner state. The outer world is not separate from you, it is yourself pushed out. To become a millionaire, you must not seek money in the outer world. You must not labor, hustle, or strive, hoping that effort will rescue you. The money cannot come while your consciousness remains poor. Wealth does not respond to effort, it responds to being. You must first become rich inwardly. You must feel it, dwell in it, assume it, and accept it as your present identity. Your consciousness is not a passive mirror. It is the creative power itself. It molds and shapes reality by the quality of your inner attention. Every time you say, I am, you are giving direction to that power. So when you say, I am broke, I am trying, I am waiting, you are unknowingly commanding your world to reflect that exact experience back to you. But when you say with calm conviction, I am wealthy, I am prosperous, I am a millionaire, and you truly feel the truth of those words, then the world must bend to match your new assumption. It cannot fail, because consciousness is the reality, and the world is only the shadow it casts. This is why imagination is not a daydream, it is the substance of things hoped for. When you imagine vividly with feeling, you are not pretending. You are entering the state. You are rehearsing the reality. And every time you do it, you shift your self-concept into alignment with the world you want. Do not be fooled by appearances. They are echoes of your former thoughts. They are the past made visible. Your current situation is not a verdict, it is a reflection. Change your self-perception, and the world must change with it. You do not beg the world to make you rich. You command it by changing who you are being. Stop asking when it will happen. Stop looking for signs. The only sign you need is the inner conviction. If you can feel the truth of your wealth within, if you can dwell there emotionally, mentally, spiritually, then it is already done. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are conscious of being. If you are conscious of being wealthy, regardless of your current bank balance, then your world must reorganize to match your inner knowing. Money will come in the most effortless and unexpected ways. Opportunities will appear where none existed before. People will show up, doors will open, not because you chased them, but because you became the one to whom wealth naturally flows. You must walk through life knowing, I am already the millionaire. This is not arrogance, this is creation. You are claiming the state that was always yours to enter. You are no longer identifying with lack. You are no longer pleading for change. You are assuming the throne within. And the world must serve the one who knows who they are. The outer world is a faithful servant. It obeys the master. And the master is your self-concept. So I tell you now, dare to assume it. Dare to close your eyes and feel that you are already there. Breathe the air of abundance. Move as the one who already has it all. Speak as the one whose life is evidence of inner wealth. Because when you do, the world will say, I don't know what changed, but everything started working for them. And you will smile, knowing the truth. Nothing changed but your consciousness, and that was everything. You must not wish to be rich. You must know and feel that you already are. There is a great difference between desiring something and assuming it to be already yours. Desire looks to the future. Assumption anchors you in the now. To live from the end is not about hoping, striving, or waiting. It is about claiming, accepting, and embodying. The one who lives from the end does not ask, how will it happen? They already know. It is done. There is no power in longing. Longing only emphasizes the absence. But there is infinite power in dwelling in the state fulfilled. To live from the end is to wake each morning and walk each step as though your desire were already fact. And when you do this, not with tension or force, but with calm inner conviction, the world must rearrange itself to make that state visible. You see, you do not move toward your desire, you move from it. The moment you shift your identity to match the outcome you desire, you are no longer seeking, you are receiving. You are no longer a beggar of life. You are its conscious creator. Think of the dream fulfilled. How would you feel if it were already yours? Not just imagined, but real. Not in the future, but now. That feeling, that inner atmosphere is the secret. Carry it with you. Let it become the air you breathe, the tone in your voice, the posture in your walk. You don't need to figure out the details. That is not your job. Creation is finished. The path is already laid out. But it is invisible to the mind obsessed with how. You are not here to trace the path. You are here to claim the end and trust that the means will follow. A millionaire does not walk the world wondering if they will succeed. They don't anxiously count the hours or measure every step. They rest in the knowing of their wealth. They spend, speak, and move from a place of already having. That inner confidence, that silent assurance. It is not born from the money. It is born before the money arrives. And this is the secret. The world gives to the one who already believes they have, not the one who needs, not the one who begs. The world echoes your self-concept. It does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you assume. So what are you assuming right now? Are you still saying, I hope one day I'll be rich? Or are you beginning to say, I am rich. It is done. My wealth is mine now. There is no power in waiting for the right moment. The moment is now. The only moment that ever matters is the one where you choose to change your inner state. Right now, you can drop the story of lack. You can drop the identity of the struggler. You can step into the shoes of the one who already has it all. Not in arrogance, but in alignment. Live from the end, feel the end, think from the end, speak from the end. Let the end saturate every corner of your being. And as you do, you will notice something profound. Life begins to mirror back to you the inner world you've chosen. You will receive emails, calls, opportunities, encounters, all reflecting the state you've claimed. But none of it begins out there. It begins within. So I say this to you. Don't try to become a millionaire. Be one now. Within. Don't wait for evidence. Be the evidence. Walk by inner knowing, not outer sight. Because when you live from the end must live through you. You do not get what you want, you get what you assume. Wanting leaves you longing, reaching, always in motion but never arriving. Assumption ends the search. It declares, this is already mine, and settles into the stillness of fulfillment. Everything in your life right now is the outpicturing of an inner assumption. Some held consciously, others held so deeply you no longer notice them. But they are there, shaping, molding, and coloring every aspect of your experience. You cannot escape your assumptions, for they are the law under which your world operates. If you assume poverty, even in subtle ways, then no matter how much you hustle, save, or strive, circumstances will bend to reflect scarcity. If you assume money is hard to get, or that wealth belongs to others, then you reinforce a world where abundance is forever out of reach. But the moment you assume, calmly, clearly, and without contradiction, I am a millionaire, life begins to reorganize itself to reflect that inner certainty. The people, the opportunities, the timing, the ideas, all begin to flow toward that assumption, not by your effort, but by your being. Assumption is not repetition. It is not about saying something over and over, hoping to believe it. True assumption is acceptance. It is the inner shift that happens when you no longer try to become, but be. You assume a state when you no longer question it. You assume wealth when you no longer wonder if you'll be rich, but instead move through life as one who already is. You feel different, you think differently. You make decisions from a place of security, not desperation. That is the true measure of assumption, the behavior that flows naturally from the new identity. And here is the mystery. The world does not resist your assumption, it obeys it. Silently and faithfully, it begins to mirror back your new truth. You'll meet people who treat you differently. Unexpected income will arrive. Ideas will come alive in you. The world rearranges itself, not through struggle, but through your steady self-concept. Understand this. Assumption does not depend on your current circumstances. In fact, assumption defies them. You must dare to claim what your senses cannot yet confirm. You must dare to feel what your eyes cannot yet see. This is the essence of creative power, to believe before the evidence appears. But this belief is not blind faith. It is intelligent knowing. It says, I create through my inner state and my world must reflect that. It refuses to bow to logic or timelines. It knows that the unseen governs the seen. So if you want to be a millionaire, don't chase it. Assume it. Begin now. Say within yourself, I am a millionaire. It is done. Feel the truth of it. Imagine what it would be like to live from that assumption. How would you walk? How would you speak? How would you feel waking up in the morning? Don't wait for life to give you permission. Give yourself the permission now through assumption. Because once you assume something is true and remain faithful to that assumption, the universe has no choice but to echo it back to you. This is law, not magic, not luck, law. Assume with clarity, Assume with consistency, and most of all, assume with conviction. Your new reality is born the moment you refuse to entertain any opposing thought. So I ask you now, what are you assuming about yourself? If it's anything less than wealth, worth, and power, change it, and change it now. Because your assumption creates your reality, and the moment you choose a new assumption, the world begins to change with it. There is a power within you greater than all external conditions, all effort, and all logic. That power is your imagination, and it is not idle fantasy. It is the divine creative force through which all things are made. What you vividly imagine and feel to be true, regardless of appearances, will solidify into your reality. The outer world is clay, and imagination is the hand that shapes it. Every structure, every success, every dollar ever created began as a formless idea in someone's mind. But the idea, when believed in and emotionally charged, became form. Most people are ruled by what they see. They allow the five senses to dictate what they believe is possible. But the creative one knows this: imagination precedes reality. It is not a mirror of what is, it is the blueprint of what will be. To imagine is to feel the reality of the unseen. When you imagine being wealthy, and you feel it deeply, the ease, the joy, the freedom, you are not playing pretend. You are entering a state of being. You are assuming an identity. And the longer you remain faithful to that state, the more the world will echo it. Never underestimate a single mental scene imagined with intensity and repetition. The mind does not distinguish between what is physically real and what is vividly imagined. If you dwell in it long enough and feel the truth of it, the body will respond, your mood will change, your energy will shift, and soon the world must mirror back that vibration. This is the unseen art of manifestation. It is the secret that mystics, prophets, and pioneers have used across centuries. They imagined the impossible. They saw it within before anyone else could see it without. And then, as if by miracle, the world reshaped itself around their vision. But it was never a miracle, it was law. Imagination is the womb of creation. What you plant there with emotion and conviction must come to life. So if you desire to be a millionaire, stop asking when or how, stop chasing the money, instead assume the feeling of already having it. Let your imagination paint the life of your dreams, not once but daily, over and over. Walk through the halls of your ideal home in your mind. See your bank account overflowing. Hear the congratulations, the celebrations, the sound of your own joyful peace. It costs nothing to imagine, and yet it is worth more than all the effort in the world. Your life will not change because of chance. It will change because you changed your inner movie. You directed a new scene. You wrote a new role for yourself, not of lack, but of abundance. Let this truth take root. What you imagine and feel to be real will become your world. It is not a question of if, but when. So go now into your inner chamber, close your eyes to the facts of the world, and dare to see beyond them, because imagination is the creative power, and with it, you are not waiting for the world to change. You are the one changing it. You are not bound by your past. You are not a prisoner to your old beliefs, mistakes, or limitations. What happened before has no power unless you continue to give it life through memory. But memory is not fact. Memory is simply imagination in reverse. And just as you imagined it once, you can revise it now. Every moment of your life is subject to the creative authority of your consciousness. And that means you can change the meaning of any experience, no matter how painful, limiting, or heavy it once seemed. Revision is the sacred art of taking an event and giving it new life, a new script, a new outcome, one that aligns with who you have now decided to be. But revision alone is not enough. you must also rehearse the life you want, over and over. Just as an actor studies their lines and steps into character, you must mentally rehearse your millionaire self until it feels familiar, natural, and inevitable. Every day, take time to close your eyes and see yourself living the life you've claimed. Hear the sounds of wealth, feel the emotions of financial ease, picture your ideal day, where you live, what you wear, how you spend, how you serve, how you move through the world. This is not fantasy, this is training. This is alignment. When you mentally rehearse a scene often enough, the subconscious accepts it as fact. And once the subconscious is impressed, life begins to reflect the impression. You may call it coincidence, you may call it manifestation, but the truth is simpler. You rehearsed it until it became real. Do not say, "But I failed before." That is the voice of an old identity, and it can be revised. Do not say, "I've never seen this kind of money." That is a limited script, and it can be rewritten. Do not say, "I don't know how." The how is never your concern. The state of being is your concern. Each time you revise a limiting story and rehearse your new life, you are reconditioning the mind. You are no longer reacting to the past, you are creating from the end. You are choosing new meanings. And in doing so, you are reshaping your self-concept, the one truth from which all things flow. So let every night be a rehearsal. Let every quiet moment be a scene. See yourself as wealthy. Hear yourself being praised for your success. Walk into rooms and feel that you belong. Spend in your imagination as though money flows like air, effortlessly and endlessly. Let this become your new normal within, and it must become your normal without, because repetition creates reality. What you do consistently in imagination becomes your identity, and your identity is the cause of all that unfolds in your world. So revise the past, rehearse the future, and live now in the full authority of your chosen self, because you are not the victim of what was, you are the author of what will be. Would you like? Do not chase, do not strive, do not anxiously monitor the world for signs and proof. That which you desire already exists, not in the realm of striving, but in the stillness of being. The moment you fully accept your desire inwardly, it begins to move toward you, not because you demanded it, but because you became it. The law of life is simple. Inner acceptance precedes outer appearance. Maybe the world will tell you that you must hustle, prove, grind, and sacrifice, but those who create consciously know a deeper truth. Creation is finished. All possibilities already exist. You do not make a thing happen. You align yourself with its reality through assumption, imagination, and faith in the unseen. Faith is not passive belief. Faith is certainty without evidence. It is the conviction that the unseen is more real than the seen because it is. Everything you now experience began in the invisible. It was once only a thought, a mood, a feeling, and then, through persistence and attention, it became flesh. So when you assume the feeling of wealth, even when your bank account is empty, you are not lying to yourself. You are choosing a deeper reality. You are resting in the truth beyond appearances. But here's the key. After you have assumed, imagined, and accepted the state of being wealthy, you must let go. You must detach from the need to see it now. You must walk through the world as if nothing is missing. You must be so inwardly satisfied, so inwardly full, that the outer is no longer required to convince you. Detachment is not indifference, it is confidence. It is the quiet inner knowing that says, what I have assumed is mine. I don't need to chase it, because it is already done. I don't need to doubt it, because I already feel it. I don't need to fight for it, because I already am it. When you're detached, you're not watching the clock. You're not refreshing your bank app. You're not asking, where is it? Why hasn't it come yet? Those questions only reveal disbelief. And disbelief keeps you tethered to the old reality. But faith releases the grip. It says, though I see nothing, yet I walk as though all is mine. And the universe responds to this calm certainty. In fact, the more at peace you are with not seeing it yet, the faster it will come. Why? Because your detachment is proof that you've accepted it on the inside. And once something is accepted in consciousness, the outer world must follow. Think of it like planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You plant it, water it, and trust. In the same way, once you've assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your job is not to question the process. Your job is to rest in the knowing. Live your days with joy. Speak as one who already has. Move through your moments with ease. And when doubt whispers, return inward, not to fight it, but to replace it with the felt reality of your desire. The unseen is more powerful than the seen. And when you live in the unseen long enough, with faith, with peace, with confidence, the seen must catch up. So do not chase, do not strive, let others scramble and worry. You stand still inwardly, knowing that what you accepted in your heart is already making its way to you, because inner acceptance is enough. And when you know that, deeply, silently, completely, the outer has no choice but to follow. And so I leave you with this truth. You are not here to become something. You are here to remember who you already are. Within you is the power to assume, revise, imagine, and create. The wealth you seek is not outside of you, it is within, waiting for you to claim it as already yours. You become a millionaire not by effort, but by identity. When you walk, talk, feel, and live as though it is done, the world has no choice but to respond in kind. Do not wait, do not wish. Assume, imagine, accept, and detach. You don't need a timeline. 1 month is not a limitation, it is a decision. The moment you fully accept the state of wealth and persist in it without contradiction, the unseen begins to move swiftly on your behalf. Miracles? No. Law. You are the operant power, you are the cause, you are the seed in the harvest. Claim it now, feel it now, live it now. Because 1 month from today, you won't be surprised when the money comes. You'll simply smile and say, of course it did, it was already mine. Thank you for listening. Thank you for believing. And most of all, thank you for becoming. It is done.